JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, or ASBR for short, is a fighting game based on a long-running JoJo's Bizarre Adventure franchise, featuring a cast of 60 JoJo's characters from across the series' history.
While promoted as a remaster of 2013's All-Star Battle, it has an overhauled combat system and massive rebalancing of the original cast.
If you're a fan of this series or want to see what all the hype is about, this video is here to showcase the basics of this bizarre brawler. I'm Hype.
And I'm Aaron Curry.
And this is a beginner's guide to ASBR.
Let's start with movement. Generally, most characters can walk, crouch, run, dash, and jump. You can also initiate a dash jump by canceling a forward run or dash with a forward jump. With the dodge button, you can shift towards the background, keeping in line with your opponent while avoiding linear attacks. Pressing dodge and down at the same time will shift towards the foreground instead. Both dodges can cancel the recovery frames into a forward dash and, if applicable, can continue into a run.
At its base, ASBR can be considered a 4-button fighter, making use of the following buttons: light, medium, heavy, and style. In addition to these, some characters possess additional standard attacks called command normals. These are generally accessed by pressing light, medium, or heavy attacks at the same time as a direction, but not everyone has one. Everyone does have an easy beat combo, however. This is an auto combo system that exists to give beginners a means to do a preset combo that ends with a special move and a super attack at the end. More on those later, but as one last word on easy beats, these will give the opponent more of their heart heat gauge than if you were to do the same sequence manually. You can choose to turn this off in character select.
The fourth button, Style, will perform unique character-specific mechanics. These can range from summoning a character stand for a new set of moves, activating a special enhancement or mode, and mounting a horse alongside some others. We'll go into the details of those in each character's specific guide video. Throws can be done by pressing any two attack buttons at the same time. These lead to a hard knockdown and do an okay amount of damage, but can be prevented if you or your opponent do their own throw input at about the same time. You could throw your opponent in front of you or behind you.
In ASBR, attacks can be blocked standing by holding back, or crouching by holding down back. Each attack has an attribute attached to it that requires you to block it in a certain way. High attacks can be blocked either standing or crouching, middle attacks must be blocked standing, and lows must be blocked crouching. There are some unblockable attacks that flash a golden spark during startup, which can be avoided by movement or through stylish evade. Please note that throws cannot be blocked at all.
Stylish evades are done by inputting a block just before a move would hit you, causing a sidestep that will normally allow a punish of some sort. You can also opt to do a stylish guard by pressing down, dodge, and light at the same time. These function the same way as stylish evades, but have a lengthy recovery period if it whiffs. Just like with blocking, stylish evades and guards lose the throws.
After selecting a character for battle, players are then prompted to select a second character, who will act as a support attack, colloquially known as an assist. Next to the health gauge is the character's portrait, and below it lies the support attack's portrait, housing two particular icons: Assault Assist, represented by pink circles, and Reversal Assist, represented by blue diamonds. How many times a support attack can be used depends on the character chosen. Assault Assists come out while you're in neutral or attacking. When used while attacking, these assists have a purple hue in their portrait, indicating that they're in cooldown. Each Assault Assist is unique, so these can really have a big effect on your playstyle. Reversal Assist, known commonly as breakers or bursts, can only be called while blocking, during a guard break, or getting hit. When used, the assist will jump into play by performing a non-damaging attack and then leave. Afterwards, they will enter a cooldown. These bursts can be stylish evaded or stylish guarded. If used while being hit, the cooldown is depicted in a red hue in their portrait, lasting much longer than that of Assault Assist.
Taunts, like in most fighting games, are mostly meant to be a mocking gesture. However, they also serve a unique function in ASBR. While the opponent is lying on the ground, you can initiate a cinematic taunt that robs them of 1 bar of heart heat gauge. This can only be done once per match, however, so make sure you choose your moment wisely. The health gauge at the top of the screen determines how much damage a character can take. If this gauge is ever fully depleted, the round ends. By default, it takes 2 rounds to win a match of ASBR. The amount of total health a character has is specific to each character. When low enough on health, most characters will enter Rumble mode, turning the health gauge red. While in Rumble mode, characters will deal 5% more damage, gain 10% more heart heat gauge, and see their guard gauge reduced less upon blocking an attack.
Unique to a handful of characters is Resolve mode, which they enter instead of Rumble mode at lower health. When active, as noted by the gauge turning gold, characters in Resolve mode deal 10% more damage, gain 10% more heart heat gauge upon getting hit, and enjoy super armor on all of their attacks during their startup and active periods, making it harder to interrupt their actions. Beneath the health gauge lies the guard gauge. Blocking attacks depletes this gauge, the exact amount depleted depending on the attack that was blocked. As the gauge empties, its colors changes from blue to yellow to flashing red and white. When completely emptied, a guard break is triggered, leaving the character wide open for a follow-up attack. That leaves us with the heart heat gauge, typically called meter. Each match, both characters start with 1 bar and can build up to a max of 3. See how the bar is segmented in half? This helps to show when you have at least half a bar for actions such as quick stand on, quick mount, or Homeland specials, among others. Common uses for 1 bar are flash cancels and heart heat attacks.
Flash cancels cancel the recovery of most moves, which helps continue combos, pressure, or just keeping yourself safe. Every character has a use for flash cancels, with their only consistent limitations being that they can only be used while on the ground and cannot be used to cancel attacks with invincibility. On the other hand, heart heat attacks, or HHAs for short, are your typical super moves whose specifics vary from character to character. HHAs cannot be flash canceled. The final and most powerful use for the heart heat gauge is the Great Heat Attack, a character's most powerful ability. It costs a minimum of 2 bars to use, and just like with HHAs, its exact behavior is character specific and cannot be flash canceled. If you have a GHA that is an attack, your damage can actually change depending on how much meter you have. Using them with 2 bars causes them to deal their normal damage, denoted as level 1. Using them with 2.5 bars applies a 1.2 times damage bonus, denoted as level 2, and using them with all 3 bars applies a 1.5 times damage bonus, denoted as level 3. If you have the meter to spend, GHA will automatically consume it for the additional damage. You cannot choose to save meter here. We'll touch on character-specific gauges and icons in their respective videos.
This concludes our introductory coverage of ASBR. We hope this has given you enough information to get you comfortable diving into the competitive scene, improving your knowledge as a spectator, or even just getting the edge against your friends. For more detailed information, please follow the link to the ASBR Nezumi Wiki page in the description. Stay tuned for our upcoming character guides created in collaboration with some of our strongest players. And of course, thanks for watching.